So, what I want to kind of go over with you guys, and we can make copies of this. I mean, we have a little sheet that kind of lays this out, and it's got scripture with everything. It's not just something that was willy-nilly made. And actually, a lot of thought went into this, and it's really, really well done. Holly did an amazing job. I just get to steal it and use it. So, no, they live in Dallas now. So.
Oh, they live in Dallas.
The reason that I wanted to go through this year with the kids was because at camp we get the most eclectic group. I mean, seriously. And the reason I say that is because we've got from the homeschoolers that have never spent a day outside probably to the ones that have been in public school their entire life. Okay? And the reason I make the school distinction is because it's a cultural difference. There's absolutely a cultural difference. Okay? Well, I'm not going to get into my thoughts and views on school and how corrupt and all that kind of stuff it is, but I'm just going to say that it's funny how everyone's on the same walk, we're just in a different place. And a lot of these kids think that they understand it and have no concept how to talk to other kids about it. And so that's what we're really trying to work with them on this week. Believe it or not, I am the activities director. I'm not teaching them really anything. I'm going to use all these examples as actual games. All these are going to be games. So let's go ahead and go through the fact that this is Romans 1:17, from faith to faith, the just shall live by faith. Somebody gets there, they can read it.
For in it is revealed how God makes people righteous in His sight from the beginning to the end. It is through trust, as it's not swiftly, but the person who is righteous will live his life by trust.
Right. My version says, everywhere yours says trust, mine says faith. So it's that aspect of it, and it's the truth of it. There's a duality to that word. Truth, or trust, and faith. Because we trust in the Lord our God. Why? Because we have faith. Why do we have faith? Because we trust in the Lord our God. It's the duality of it. Ephesians chapter 2, 8 through 10. For by grace are you saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are His workmanship, created in Christ Yeshua, unto good works, which God hath before ordained that we should walk in them. Okay? So this is the beginning faith right here. Okay? Just imagine it's sitting right here. I'll put a little green star. This is the beginning of faith right here. Beginning of your journey.
Can't see the green. We know it's there.
You have to have faith, Mel. It's there. It's there.
Okay, there's the red star instead. The beginning of faith. Where does that usually start in a Christian walk?
When you say,
Okay.
make that walk up to the altar there.
How do you start your walk? Accept Yeshua. Okay? And we'll go through that in a second. But you accept Yeshua. You accept Christ. You accept the fact that He died and that you were forgiven because of that death. The price has been paid. That's where it usually starts. That's where it should start. Problem is, that's usually where it ends. Okay? I don't know if any of you had this experience, but I thought, great, I was washed, I was dunked, I'm good. And for a long time, that's what I thought. Did I need to do anything about it? No. I got grace. My works were going to church. They were. Okay? But this is the start. There is a journey to go on. How many of you can get somewhere if you're given a map? Give me some hands. Okay. We got a couple of people that can't, but just about everybody can. This isn't here. Okay? This board's not here. There's no roadmap for how you're going to get to the end. How do you get there? Mel, how do you get there?
Follow somebody else.
Follow somebody else. Okay? What if they're wrong?
Don't know.
You don't know. What if the ladder's on the wrong building? Right? You ever heard that? Get to the top, figure out it's on the wrong building?
Wander aimlessly.
Wander aimlessly. Right.
Stay on the straight road.
What is it?
Can't turn.
What's the straight road? Is it 114?
I know.
Pretty straight.
Huh?
Pretty straight.
It's pretty straight. You know, I-10 from Ozona until El Paso, pretty dang straight. That's why there's more wrecks on that road than anywhere else in the United States. More fatality deaths on that road because it's so straight, so long, and there's nothing out there.
And then you see walls with your
Fall asleep. You ever driven that at 3 a.m.? There's nothing. I've driven it many, many times. There's nothing out there. All right, but anyway, that's besides the point. I'm trying to get to the point, though, that unless you have a map of how to get there, can you get there? No.
I've been there once, you've gone.
You can't. You've never been there. The end of your faith, you've never been there.
Well, true.
So you don't know how to get there.
You gotta trust your feelings.
Trust your feelings.
That's it.
Wow. Woo!
That's how you know when you're following somebody and they're not going the right way. You know, it doesn't feel right.
Trust the young guy.
That's it. That's real.
Trust and obey, for there's no other way.
I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it.
Trust and obey. All right. 1 Peter chapter 1, 1 through 9. Peter, an apostle of Yeshua HaMashiach, the strangers scattered, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, there you go, Asia, and Bithynia. Yeah. I usually just say B, G, C. Elect. Yes, 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 1 through 9. Elect according to the foreknowledge of God the Father through sanctification of the Spirit unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yeshua HaMashiach. Grace unto you and peace be multiplied. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Yeshua HaMashiach, which according to his abundant mercy has begotten us again unto a lively host by the resurrection of Yeshua HaMashiach from the dead, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that fadeth not away, reserved in heaven for you, who are kept by the power of God through faith unto salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time, wherein yet greatly rejoice, though now, for a season, if need be, you are in heaviness through manifold temptations. Sorry. Yeah, it's real hard. That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold, than perisheth, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Yeshua HaMashiach, whom having not seen you love, in whom, though now you see him not, you believe. You rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your soul. Okay. So now we're talking about you got to endure some things, right? So now you're on your journey. We don't know exactly how we're getting there, but you're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. You're going to go through these things, but you're still going to be doing what? Rejoicing and giving glory. Why? So that you can receive what?
The goal of your faith.
Salvation of your soul. You know what the end of salvation is? The end of your faith? Salvation of your soul. That's right. 1 Peter 1:9, 1 Peter 1:9, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your soul. Points to, what is the end of our salvation road? What is the end of our faith? What is the end of salvation of our soul? Hebrews 3:14.
Hey, Ty, would that be, I mean, the reason why I'm wondering is, if that's the goal, that means, because if your soul's not saved, it goes back to the Father. So if you get to sit, if you receive it, that means you still stay, like, as an entity, if you will. I mean, so otherwise,
The Spirit goes to the
the
Father.
Spirit. No, you're right. That's what I was bringing
You
up.
had me
The
confused.
Spirit, yes, thank you.
Spirit's the one that's
Spirit.
either doomed or
Yeah.
glorified.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
The soul's the one that's either doomed or glorified. The Spirit is the one that always, doesn't matter of who, goes back to the Father.
Right.
So, Hebrews 3:14. For we are made partakers of Christ if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end. Okay? What is that saying? What does that mean? For we are made partakers of Christ if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end. If you don't waver and fall off the path, you're going to make it. That's what it means. Right? Anybody have a different definition?
Okay, first, if you're saved, always saved.
No,
Now, that kind of messes with that, doesn't it?
That really does. And if at first you don't succeed, Fred, don't go skydiving. So,
Now, can we have a little help here, though?
sure, what?
All right. I mean, I'm not trying to
No, go for
break
it.
this, but I need a little help here.
Sure.
Because, I mean, I fall into a lot of brick walls.
Oh, absolutely. Go for it.
You know, like, so we have become sharers in the Messiah, provided, however, that we hold firmly to the conviction we began with, right? Well, I tell you what, that could really tell you, boy, you're really lost.
Oh, we really can.
In instances.
What? Here's the
He
reason.
has to come back and pull you back.
Here's the reason, though, that we get lost. The reason we get lost is because we
You
don't
fell off the path.
have a map.
Yeah.
What's verse 12 say?
Verse 12, see to it, brothers, and none of you has a sinful unbelieving heart that turns away from the living God.
I didn't hear that.
Read verse 12. Okay, now let's get back to the fact that all of us are in regular church and we just read this verse. We haven't gone to Sinai yet. We haven't gone to Torah. We haven't come to any of this yet. What does that mean?
Just hang in there till you die.
Hang in there till you die. That's really what it means. Or until he comes. Right, depends on what church you go to. It really does. It means hang on. You're doing fine. Grace covers you.
I'm confident that if I walk down the aisle, down from the front, took care of it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I'm very confident in my altar call. And the one I give every Christmas and Easter. You know, I mean, that's what we have as a mindset because that's what we've been given. Because there is no roadmap. Do you understand that it takes more faith not to believe in Sinai and not to believe in Torah than it does if you do? You know, we actually have something to live by. You know what iniquity means. It's a big four-letter word in the Bible if you don't.
It's like saying you have to have a lot more faith that you'll get to New York if somebody gives you a map than if somebody says, well, just go kind of northeast from here.
Right. I'm giving y'all the very long version. The kids are getting a much more condensed short version. The reason is because we got to play games. But this is what I'm trying to say. I've actually, because when we go to the Word and we actually go to Jude, doesn't it actually tell us, in James, they both tell us what transgression of the law is? Doesn't that, I mean, we all heard it. We know what it says. Well, that transgression of the law is iniquity. Unrighteousness.
But the law has been done away with.
Sin.
Here's my point with that. Do you know that a lot of churches believe that there's 3 laws?
Really?
Yes. I'm not going to get into debate on what they are and all that kind of stuff. I'm just making the point. Guys, we have the actual roadmap. Why?
That's God gave it to us.
It's been given. Yes, sir.
Before I came into this, I didn't know what my treasure was.
Right.
I assumed it was a mystical kingdom.
Right.
But here in Genesis, it tells me that my promise, my treasure map is in a kingdom of land that he is proportioned, that he will dwell
Absolutely.
with me there. So that's my goal.
Yes, sir.
It's not a mystical kingdom.
Right.
And I think, even what you said sparked it, because it's important to have a good map. Because I guarantee you, there's people that are doing things today because they've been given that goal of their faith, and it's 70 virgins. And they're willing to blow themselves up for that goal of their faith.
Let me show you what this is all about. Okay? This is all about our walk. Faith. Okay? When we first start our journey, when we first start our race, let's go as Paul said. We start our race. Why? Because we want the incorruptible crown at the end of it. You start that race with what? Well, the Israelites started it with a spotless lamb. We started with Yeshua.
The
Spotless lamb. Okay? Then we go to the door. What's the door? Well, for the Israelites, it was an actual door. And what it was is that they actually had to kill the spotless lamb, which what happened to Yeshua? He was killed. The blood had to be applied on the doorposts, and the blood was already in the basin. Look at this picture, okay? I got to use the doorway. You guys got to just turn around and look right quick. We have a doorway, okay? This is what I did at Passover with the kids. Is that we actually took one of their stuffed lambs, and it's very sad. We cut his throat. They didn't see that, but we cut his throat, and the blood, which was paint, red paint, went into a little dish. Where? At the base of the door, okay? What were they to do if they had a lamb, if they had a big enough family, or they brought their neighbors in? Let's go back to the story in Egypt. What happened? They had to take that door to where? To their door.
The blood, the blood, the lamb and the
The
blood.
door to the door.
Yeah.
No, they had to take the lamb to their door, right? And they didn't take the door to the door. No. Then they had to slit his throat and hang it upside down. Why would they do that at the door? First off, let's talk practically. Why would they do that? Jay, you're a hunter. Why would they do that? He'd bleed out, right? And wouldn't this be one of the strongest places to do it? Over the door, where it had a mantle, where it had something you could put it, hang it up on. Bleed out into the basin. They take the lamb down, skin it, cook it, and all that kind of stuff. What did they have to do with that blood? They had to take the hyssop, they had to put the blood on the hyssop, put it on the door, on the mantle, and on the doorpost. Now, here's the picture. They did that on the outside of the house.
Threshold of the family.
I'm sorry?
Threshold of the family.
The threshold of the family. They did this on the outside of this house. Is the angel of death able to go through a window, or is it just too small? He'd go through a window, right?
Yeah.
Make that
He
distinction.
can come down the chimney.
He'd come down the chimney. He can do whatever.
I'm sorry.
You just had to go there, didn't you? All right. You've got the blood on all 4 points, right? You do it on the outside of the house. You want to enter the house, what do you have to do?
Over the blood.
You have to go through the blood. That's what we do every time we accept Christ.
Isn't that kind of a picture of going back into the room?
I'm not going to go there now. You have to go through the blood. Yes, sir.
Well, we need to explain that the reason that there is blood there is because we have broken the covenant. And in the covenant relationship that God made with Abraham, Abraham did not walk through the carcasses. So the person who has to pay, if and when a covenant is broken, it has to be paid with by death, blood.
Okay.
Why one of the two?
By the one of the two who walked through. Only one walked through, God himself.
Okay.
By me applying blood, I have faith that God is walking through and paid that price for that covenant that I have broken. And I'm showing that angel of death, you cannot hurt me because the covenant price I have paid by faith, by the blood being applied. Even though it's broken, it has been repaired because that death has occurred.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So that's why, because it always blew my mind. Why would God send his son to die on that cross? Until I understood what a covenant was.
Yeah.
And his covenant with Abraham is everlasting.
Yeah.
And so by me applying that blood to my door, I'm saying, God, you paid the price for me breaking your covenant.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's the application of the blood.
And I applied that. Now then I have to walk it out.
Right. But you had to do that. You had to actually physically walk through that.
Yes.
Right. That's my point.
And by faith accept it, that he paid that price.
Exactly. Exactly. Because do you think the children of Israel, do you think they did it even kind of going hoping that it worked? I think they did. I think they were going, man, I got a lot of faith right now, but I'm not really sure. Oh gosh, I hope this really works. And they were sitting there scared all night. I don't think that that night that they ate the lamb was a big feast. It was a big happy event.
No, they were scared.
They were scared. They just saw the things that he did to all the other people in Egypt. They've seen his power, and now they're being told all you gotta do is put a little blood on the door, and they're going, are you kidding? But they had enough faith to actually do it.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Or not fear.
They were told that they're fixing to leave. Really didn't know where they were going.
Right.
That in itself.
Very scary. Man, lots of fear going on. But they had to apply it. Do you know that a lot of people come to Christ because they're afraid? Do you know that's a scare tactic a lot of people use? I've used it myself. Absolute fire insurance. You know? Well, I mean, everybody's done the Ten Commandment test and all that kind of stuff. Oh, have you ever lied or stealed or whatever, or adultery, blah, 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 blah. Well, by your own admission, you've been a thief, you've been a liar, you've been an adulterer, you've been a murderer. You think God would take you if it was just on those criteria? And they go, no. And they're like, well, guess what? There's actually a way to make sure that you do get into the kingdom of heaven. What?
You know, one of the fears that we've talked about before was the fact that the lamb was one of the Egyptians' gods, and here they were and had to really broadcast the fact that we're slaughtering your God and we're putting it in your face by putting his blood up on our doorpost. So it wasn't like, okay, don't worry, on this night I'll come and save you guys all. Just stay in your house, just hide in the house. It wasn't about, stay in the house and nobody will notice. It was like, put it for everyone, again, to glorify God. Put it in front of everybody's face right here. Boom, this is what's going on and you are mine.
Okay. It goes back to the fear aspect.
Yeah.
Let's keep going because I've got a few more minutes. Then what happens? Red Sea, right? Well, actually, what's next?
Cloud and fire. Pillar of fire.
They're led, right?
For 3 days.
And protected, right?
GPS.
What happens when we receive Yeshua HaMashiach as our Messiah? And that's the best dub I could do, so y'all
That
hush.
was really good. Man.
A lot better than the lamb, I guess. We're given a comforter. We're given a guider. We're given, so it's not only are we given a map, because we all have one, exactly what to do. It's in here, okay? Not only are we given the map, but then we're actually given, a forest ranger to give you, okay, this is where you're going to go, this is where I'm going to take you.
Someone who
You
knows
know,
the map really, really
someone
well.
who knows the map really, really well. And who's not going to lead you astray. Okay? That's what the comforter is. That's what the nudge is when you get in your spirit to go talk to somebody. That's what that is, okay? All right, then they come to where?
Red Sea.
Red Sea. This is my picture of being submerged, baptized, okay? Wow, okay. Kind of bad, but.
Good.
All right,
Don't put red, because otherwise it's going to be a funeral pyre.
baptism. All right, then we have
Manna.
manna. What does manna mean?
What is it?
What is it?
Vision.
All right. Do you know that there's another form of manna? What is it? What is it?
The word?
Yeshua, the
Word.
word.
The Word.
Bread that comes down from heaven.
Because what are we supposed to feed on? Man is not sustained by bread alone, but
Did you say manna's not sustained?
Man.
I really did think you said manna. I was,
all right. We got manna.
And on that note, man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Should we look at the words that proceeded from his mouth?
Go back to the Torah.
Right.
Say,
No, you're right. You're right. Okay, we got a rock and we got water. What are we supposed to daily do? Wash in the Word, right?
yes,
It's also a stumbling stone.
Who's that? Amalek, the man of
Flesh.
flesh. Okay?
now, where is that? You said you've got it on paper there, scripture?
Yep.
Where is Amalek?
Amalek is Exodus 17, 8, Exodus 17, 8, 13, and 16.
Okay.
And then Galatians 5, 19 through 26.
and Numbers 24.
I'll get
And
that
Numbers
later.
24. But, no, 24. But, okay, so then we have to go through the flesh. Now, where does everyone in today's church stop? Right there.
That too.
Well, no, most of the time they don't. And let's talk about actual, my mom contends this very, very